Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon everyone. My name is Salsa Diva Nabila. On this opportunity, I would like to presentation cross-cultural understanding about nonverbal communication. Well, without wasting the time, let me begin. Nonverbal communication. Communication is the transfer of information from one person to another. In other words, we can say communication is the exchange of ideas, information, etc. between two or more people. There are three main types of communication, such as visual, verbal or dialogue communication, and nonverbal communication. Visual communication, as the name implies, is communication through visual aids. It is the transmission of idea and information. Is a conversation between two or more entities in which they use their speech organ to convey message. Nonverbal communication is the process of communication through sending and receiving message without words. A. Body language or kinesics. Body language can be defined as the conscious and unconscious movement and posture by which attitude and feeling are communicated. Body language, also known as kinesis, comes from the Greek word kinesis, which means motion. This includes body movement, body position, facial expression, and clothing. 1. Body movement or gesture. The most familiar category of body language is the so-called quotable symbol or cues. This is conventional culture-specific body language that can be used in place of words, such as the wave used in US for hello and goodbye. Body language is an important part of everyday conversation, like chatting, explaining routes, or negotiating price in the market, and etc. One of the most frequently observed but least understood gesture is hand gesture. Most people use hand gesture regularly when speaking. It can indicate certain meaning, feeling or attention, and the most important thing the audience wants. Finger communicate many things. Here's some of gesture. 1. Okay gesture. 2. Thumbs up. 3. Thumbs down. 4. V gesture. 5. Twisting finger. 6. Crooked finger. 2. Body position. In some culture, we must be careful to avoid exposing certain part of their bodies. In Arab culture, for example, the soles of the feet are considered dirty and should not be shown. So anyone who adopts the custom of sitting on the floor, for example, must be careful not to do so. 3. Facial expression. Researchers have found that certain areas of the face express our emotional state better than others. It is, as recipient message rely heavily on the facial expression of the sender because the expression is a better indicator of the meaning behind the message than the words. Facial expressions are constantly changed during the interaction and are continually monitored by recipient. The meaning of this expression may be similar across cultures, such as A. Eyes signal looking right. Generally, a possible meaning of looking right: creating, fabricating, guessing, lying, storytelling. Detailed explanation of looking right. Creating here is basically making things up and saying them. Depending on the context, this can indicate lying, but in other circumstances, to signal looking left and up. Possible meaning: recalling image truthfulness. Detailed explanation of looking left and up. relate to accessing memory in the brain, rather than creating or imagining a reassuring sign if signal when the person is recalling and stating facts. B. Mood. The mood can be touched or obscured by one hand or finger, and is also very flexible and expressive part of the body, which play a central role in facial expression. For example, for mood, twitch smile, possible meaning, mixed feeling or sarcasm. Detailed explanation show opposite emotion on each side of the face. 2. Beating lip. Possible meaning, tension. Detailed explanation, one of many signals suggesting tension or stress, which can be due to high concentration but more likely to be anxiousness. C. Height. The head tends to lead and determine the general direction of the body, but it is also a vital and vulnerable place where our brain is located, so the head is widely used in indirect body language and in defensive body or self-protection language as well. For example, head held high, a possible meaning superiority, firmness, arrogant. A detailed explanation, especially if exacerbated with jutting chin. Head forward, upright. A possible meaning, interest, positive reaction. Detailed explanation, head forward in the direction of a person or other subject indicate interest. D. Arms. The arm acts as defensive barrier when crossing the body and conversely convey a feeling of openness and security when in open position, especially in combination with an open palm. For example, cross arm with a clenched fist, hostile. Possible meaning, hostile defensiveness. Detailed explanation, clenched fist reinforces subtleness, aggression to the lack of empathy indicated by crossed arms. 1. Seated holding, a possible meaning, nervousness. Detailed explanation, one arm raised on the table across. E. Hand. The hands contain more nerve connection or to the brain than most, if not all, other parts of the body. They are very expressive and flexible tools, so it's natural that the hands are often used in gesturing consciously as with emphasizing gesture, or unconsciously as in various involuntary movements that indicate hidden feeling and thoughts. For example, hand stroking chin. Possible meaning, truthfulness. Detailed explanation, the stroking of a beard is a similar signal, although rare among women. Hand chop. Possible meaning, emphasis, especially the last word on a matter. A detailed explanation, the hand is used like a glutton as if to kill the discussion. 4. Dress. Our clothes are part of cultural identity. Even the way people dress for business differ greatly between culture. Wearing formal attire over the world means one goes to interview, workplace, celebration, or any place where some high-ranking person is present. Wearing informal clothing all over the world means that the person going to a friendly party, barbecue, or informal venue. B. Eye contact or oculistic. Eye contact is between two individuals. In human, eye contact is a form of nonverbal communication and has a great influence on social behavior. The study of eye contact is sometimes known as oculistic. Eye contact provides a way in which a person can study social interaction, as it gives indication of social and emotional information. C. Touch or haptics. Touch is culturally determined, but each culture has a clear concept of what part of the body one may not touch. Basic message of touch is affect or control, protect, support, disapprove, such as hug, kiss, hit, kick. Here are some examples. In USA, handshake is common, or even for strangers. Hug kisses for those of opposite gender or of family, usually on an increasingly more intimate basis. D. Body or space distinct. Proxemics or personal space is defined as the study of the amounts of space that people feel comfortable with between themselves and others. People are usually more comfortable standing closer to family members than to strangers. The study of how people use physical space to convey message is called proxemics. E. Paralanguage. It not just words that convey a message, but also various other factors such as 1. Vocal character, longing, crying, screaming, moaning, whining, burping, yawning. Send different message in different culture. For example, in Japan, giggling indicates shyness, and in India, burping indicates contentment. 2. Vocal qualification like volume, pitch, rhythm, tempo, and pitch have different meaning. Loudness, a strength in Arabic culture, and softness indicate weakness. In German, it denotes confidence and authority, while in Japanese, indicate loss of control. Generally, one learns not to shout in Asia for almost any reason. 3. Vowel segregation like sh, o, indicate formality, accepted, approval, uncertainty, and also control conversation. F. Turn taking. In normal, civilized Western type conversation, the speaker doesn't talk all the time. They wait their turn. But how do people go about allocating turn to each other or themselves? This is a turn-taking mechanism. On the hand, there is a natural pause in very conversation. A speaker has to pause for breath or is at a loss for word to say or simply state that his contribution has been complete. Alright, I think that's all my presentation. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.